Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop. Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth?
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, so call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
All right, let's get ready to rock and roll this evening. My name is Mark Benskop. It's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. 7 minutes after 9 o'clock, and guess what? Shellen Washington, attorney at law, She should be with us later on the show. Lemon is arranging that, and then we also have the candidate, Miss Isis McIntosh Green. Isis McIntosh Green is going to join us tomorrow evening, but at the she is going to be with us tomorrow evening and not this evening, kind of like a conflict with schedule. And Miss McIntosh Green, she is the candidate in District 41, Council District 41. She is running for that office. She will be on tomorrow to tell us all about her plans for that district. And many of you would know it's part of the Crown Heights. It's part of the Utica Avenue area. So McIntosh Green will be on with us tomorrow evening and not this evening. So that means that we have this evening to behave bad, as we would say, because Isis McIntosh Green is not Guyanese, but she knows a lot of Guyanese. So even when and if we misbehave politically, I'm certain that she understands. And so, good evening to all of you. I noticed that Dion Bascom. Let me see how many of you guys remember Dion Bascom. Don't forget Dion Bascom. He is the detective, the detective that actually exposed corruption in the Guyana police force as it pertains to the investigations into the death, the murder of Paper Shorts. And lots of things came out of that, but like everything else, it's being ducked under the table, so to speak, ducked under the table. And we say good evening to Dion Bascom, Detective Sergeant Bascom. And I don't know what's happening with that case, but the folks who were fingered, they're all over the place. It's like they don't give a damn any longer, right? They're just running around the place, pretending as though nothing has happened, trying to be poetic whenever they put something out there to basically sidetrack people, so to speak. Azruddin Muhammad, one of the suspects, and the police force, they have to make a statement. They have to say whether this guy, Azruddin Muhammad, is a suspect or not. But I know the last time, probably the first time, that somebody wrote a letter on his behalf, signed by him, of course, in the newspaper. He basically said that he is under investigations by U.S. law enforcement agencies for money laundering, gold smuggling, terrorism, assassination, all these sort of things. And this is the kind of individuals that the Ministry of Education, they allow school children to go and visit him and see his fancy cars and all manner of things. And role model, right? Oh, sorry about that. It's nothing to laugh about, but the role model, right? You give me a break. And then we notice that a candidate for constituency 13 had some runnings over allegations of child molestation. I believe that individual, Harding, was cleared by the court. But yet this guy's dad, some other Muhammad, I don't know if he's still running for office or whatever. It is okay for people who are accused of all sort of things. Accused, mind you, not cleared by the court. Accused, mind you, probably is wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies. But these folks, his dad can run for all sort of office, and nobody really picks on them, right? Nobody picks on them, if you know what I mean. Nobody picks on them. Why? Because overnight they get a little moolah, so to speak. Anyway, keep an eye out on Dion Bascom. I believe that's him. That's his name, Dion Bascom. He's watching our program tonight. And basically, you got to keep an eye out so nobody can brush him out, so to speak. Brush him up or brush him out, so to speak. All right. So what else is happening? What else you guys want us to talk about? Let me take this silly thing off my ears. I don't know why my wardrobe and my makeup artist and all these people, because I gotta get dressed to come on properly, fix my tie, put my makeup on, every single thing, right? We're big, we're huge around here. All right. So how was your weekend, guys? Are you all preparing for the local government elections? And do you know 7 days, 7 days to go, guys? 7 days to go. 7 days to go. Call your friends, call up everyone, whether they're in Linden. At this time we gotta get strong fighters, strong counselors, strong mayors, strong deputy mayors. We gotta get people who are fighting. We don't want people to just be elected all because of a show. They get a position and that's it. A show, they're on a position, and that's it. They don't give a damn about anything else. We're not going to tolerate that this time around, guys. I repeat, we are not going to tolerate that this time around. 7 days more to go. Or they would say in Guyana, 7 more days to go. But 7 days more to go. Same thing. You've got to ensure, call your friends, let them stop with the bickering about coalition didn't do nothing. Stop. Some of y'all stop with that nonsense. I heard some folks are saying down in Laying Avenue, and I want to say good evening to all those beautiful people on Laying Avenue. Don't be fooled. Y'all do not be fooled. Laying Avenue, despite some of the things some people have been saying, that the coalition did nothing. I don't know what's going on with these folks. And they say it with such a straight face. The coalition didn't do nothing for Laying Avenue. And one girl pop out from wherever she popped out from and saying that the PPP did build road. Look, we get road. And no, it's sickening. It's sickening to watch that. It's sickening to hear that. For 26 years, the PPP did nothing for the entire Georgetown. Nothing. They ruined Georgetown. And let me ask you guys this, all of you in Laying Avenue, and that step that Ramson built with taxpayers' money, you repair a step, and there's a big thing. And some of those people on Laying Avenue, not all of them, just one and two of them they get, right? Feel that that's success story. That's a big thing. They disregard all the other assistance that people would have done, assisted in terms of the brothers and sisters in Laying Avenue and surrounding areas and so forth. They forget about all of that. And suddenly, one little step, Ramson, probably pay for some nails and so forth. And it's a big thing. For all those years, Ramson never give a damn about Laying Avenue, Pontrench Dam, wherever. Nothing. Suddenly, some of these people want to give you guys the impression that the PPP is so caring. Suddenly. But for 23 plus this 3 years that they've been installed, they haven't done anything for the people of Laying Avenue. Look at how that trench used to look. Look at how the market used to look. It wasn't as a result of the municipality, and the municipality gets on lame ducks. Don't get me wrong. But central government, headed by the PPP, never gave the money. They left the city dirty, all because they wanted to be vindictive towards the people of Georgetown, spiteful towards the people of Georgetown. For 20 odd years, no local government elections, none whatsoever. And now they want you guys to believe that they care about you. Which government would ignore local government elections for 20 plus years? Ignore it. It doesn't exist under the PPP regime because they never care. If they were in office for another couple of years after that, they would have still continued to neglect the people of Laying Avenue, neglect the people of All Boys Town or wherever, when they were sending police to brutalize people, young men, particularly young men in All Boys Town, jail them unjustly. You think they cared about you guys? You think they give a damn about you guys? This is all about local government elections. And they will do whatever it is to buy your votes, to bribe you, to make it look as though they care. They do not care about you at all. And so let's head back to Laying Avenue. Let's head back there for a second. Sorry that I had to do up my face like that. Right? No. But let's head back there. Under the coalition, things start to change in Laying Avenue. Not overnight. Things started to change. The trenches started to clean up. There was this massive cleanup campaign. The councillors and all of them were happy because they got an opportunity to breathe again. And hundreds of millions of dollars were spent on a cleanup campaign. Councillors were given monies. Councillors were given access to millions of dollars to ensure that their constituencies were beautified. Laying Avenue and Constituency 13 was no exception. And so they benefited from lights, they benefited from clean streets. And so the job, the task of the coalition government was to clean up the mess, the 23 plus years of mess left behind by the PPP, the corrupt, racist PPP regime. And so that cleanup campaign started. Hundreds of millions of dollars doled out. Now, some of these councillors who are complaining that the coalition never do nothing, can they say what have they done with the money? And why didn't they utilize the money for the people in those constituencies, Chase Green and the others? Let them talk about that. Laying Avenue area, lights. We never see light like that before. Thanks to the coalition. We never see the area so clean before. Thanks to the coalition. We never saw young men feeling safe to walk the streets without being slaughtered by death squads belonging to the PPP. Never before. Thanks to the coalition. You know how many young men in that area, whether it's the west, whether it's the east, whether it's by the Ice House, whether it's by Warlock, wherever, they felt so comfortable. They walked the streets without being, for the most part, harassed by corrupt policemen and all these manner of things. Can I get a yeah? I'm sorry. This is like a campaign now. Can we just get all of you on there? Can we get a yeah? Because under the PPP regime, those people in Laying Avenue and other areas, particularly young African Guyanese men, they were not safe. They were not safe at all under the PPP regime. They were not safe. They were picked up. They were locked up. They were brutalized. They were tortured. Some of them were killed. Some of them were kidnapped. Some of them had to run out the country, whether they go Suriname, whether they go Guyana, whether they get to go to the US or Canada or wherever, Trinidad, Barbados, where they bail out as a result of a corrupt, murderous PPP regime. Murderous PPP regime. But suddenly, they want to tell you that they care. They do not care at all. All they want to do is to swar people. And unfortunately, a few have been swar. A few have been brainwashed. All because they probably see a couple $1,000 and they say, we never lived like this yet? Progress? What progress? What progress? Can you tell me? In Georgetown, they attempted to create what was called an IMC, Interim Management Committee. They never believed in democracy. The PPP's democracy was IMC. All over IMC. They attempted an IMC for Linden. At that time, it was Stan Smith. I believe the late Stan Smith was mayor. They tried to get an IMC in New Amsterdam. They tried to get an IMC. That's all they wanted, IMC. They wanted control. And if they couldn't get control, they will destroy. They attempted to destroy those tongues. But thanks to Hamilton Green, you know what they did to Hammy? They took away his keys. They took away his vehicle. They didn't want to give him gas for his own vehicle paid for by taxpayers and all these manner of things. You see, I know it because a couple of times I operated as Hamid's driver. I picked him up, took him a couple of places, all because of the spiteful, corrupt, racist PPP regime that never cared about you, the people of Georgetown or Linden or New Amsterdam or Bartica or Madja or Corriverton or Rose Hall. They never care about you guys. How many of you guys, and we're talking about Laying Avenue and so forth, how many of you guys in that area remember Cemetery Road? On both sides, people couldn't bury their loved ones. And if you bury your loved ones there, they wanted to run out of the cemetery because that's how bad it was. You thought that maybe it was a forest. You're driving through there, Cemetery Road, you got to make sure your windows are up. If you're driving in a car, minibus, and there's no window, well, can't eat your dinner. You got to smell whatever it is that you smell. All for that whole long stretch. The PPPC never cared. And a man like Nelson Mandela, who stood up and fought for people's rights and fought against apartheid, the very sort of apartheid system we have now in Guyana, Nelson Mandela. You know what they named a dump site? They named a dump site after Nelson Mandela. It was called the Mandela dump site, where when you buried your loved ones, guess what the PPP did? They allowed garbage upon garbage upon garbage to be thrown there every single day on that dump site next to where your family or friends are buried at the Liripintier Cemetery. They didn't care. They didn't care. And when they give a couple $100 million to clean it, they give it to their friends and their cronies who live outside of the community. And back then, they never care about giving young men and women jobs in the community. They used to hire their friends and cronies outside of the community. So when you wake up in the morning, guess what? Guess what you see? You saw people who are not from your community, but are given contracts to clean your community. Millions of dollars. But thankfully, the coalition changed that. The coalition started to give people. The coalition started to give people within the community contracts. Can we get an amen for that? And because of that, this is what the PPPC now is piggybacking on. So a lot of people, when they get a little contract to do this and that, no, it is shame. The PPP is so much ashamed that they had to continue, even though they cut it in probably quarter and giving the people in the communities crumbs. And whilst they're giving the people crumbs in the community, their objective is mainly to control. If they can't control you, then that's it. Can't eat your dinner. That is what they're about. And that is why you've got to be careful. This upcoming local government elections to be held in 7 days' time. 7 days' time. Call your friends, call them up and let them know what is happening. You've got to go out and vote. Call your friends in New Amsterdam. Let them go out and vote. Call them right now. Take a look. Let's go down to New Amsterdam. Look at what's happening in New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam is 95 or 97% pro-PNC. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Don't let this woman, Barbara Pilgrim, she has no say, she has no power. In fact, they have no say, they have no power. All they want is to control. And if they can give, like Barbara, if you look at that bag, I'm sure she get a little fried chicken in there, probably about a little $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and she get on her red t-shirt. Barbara is happy. She is happy. She looked like she ran out of the hair salon quickly to make sure she gets your little thing. Who walks around with a bag stuffed with chicken, fried chicken, mitai, pulori, fried fish, all sort of things in that same bag? So Barbara knows exactly what she's doing. Whatever little she could grab and she could take up, she's taking up. But I am almost certain that Barbara, when she goes into that voting booth, she will be voting APNU PNC. That same Barbara, that same soup drinker Barbara wouldn't be voting, because I'm told she's telling her friends them quietly that She is a diehard PNC, and it's only because of circumstances she wearing a red t-shirt. She ain't care about them. While they're using her and people like her, I think Barbara gets sense. I think Barbara gets sense. She's an old swarrier. Right? She's an old-time swarrier. Don't be fooled. She's swearing Jack Dew and them. And a lot of them swearing Jack Dew and them. But after the local government elections, yeah, they're not going to win. Yeah, I'll still keep far from Barbara. Let her thaw out a little bit before they come back. Let them thaw out a little bit. Barbara, good evening to you, girl. Eat your fried chicken. Enjoy yourself. At least you got to eat, right? She got to eat. Sorry, she got to eat. How are you guys doing this evening? How are you guys doing this evening? I want to take you guys somewhere. Can we go somewhere? Somewhere, right? Can we go somewhere? Let us go to what the PPP is attempting to do. And they did something to Yulita Moore, and they rushed to do it, which convinces me even more that the PPP is desperate. Desperate. Jagda would bend over backward. I mean, probably happens all the time, but will bend over backwards to do anything to have people wear red t-shirts. It doesn't matter how much he gave, how much money that is. They gave out taxpayers' money, bribing people for votes and so forth and so on. It shows that they are desperate. They are so desperate that they'll do anything they will do. Look at what they've done. On this guy, a PPP goon or whoever he is, his name is Rajendra Paul. He placed up on social media a photo with Frank Anthony, who is a weakling of Minister of, Minister of Health. A weakling of Minister of Health, right? And so this is what they put up. That's what they put there. They said, look, do you guys remember Yulita Moore? Okay. Now, where are you going with that? Do you guys remember Yulita Moore? Of course, we sorry, a song like them guys from Linden. It's because Lemon got me looking at this guy's picture. Take this guy off the screen, man. Take him off the wait. You got a gun in your waist now, boy. They give you license. Now let's get back to this here now. So this is the big headline for them to die, right? That's the big headline for them to die. And the headline basically is, look at what the headline says there. Look at what the headline says there. Do you guys, sorry about that. Yeah, a bit distracted, but we'll get over it. We'll overcome, right? So this is the message. That's the message. And I'll ask that question just now. You guys take a look at that. Yep, sorry about that, guys. So look, it says, do you guys remember Yulita Moore, who took the PPPC to court in 2020? And they were all happy. Oh, they were giving the impression that Frank Anthony, that Looney Tune, as a minister of health, right? As a minister of health, who is yet to answer about the corruption, the allegations of corruption of fake and expired HIV kits. We're not hearing from him about that, but he's out hugging up this little girl. Oh, so it looks good, and they feel good about that. They're hugging her up. You don't see him anywhere else campaigning, but they're going, and once they grab somebody, because it looks as though they just, back in the days in Africa when you just go and you grab our African ancestors and so forth, and you just grab them. This is what has happened here now. So he has this little black girl, so to speak, in his arm. And the headline is, do you guys remember Yulita Moore, who took the PPPC to court 2020? They're trying to say that this is Yulita Moore and that Yulita Moore jumped ship and that Yulita Moore is now with them, which is a lie, a big, big lie, guys. And we all know that that is a lie. Don't we all know that, right? All right, so we've got that established. We got that established. Let's bring the attorney on, since candidate Isis McIntosh Green is going to be on with us tomorrow evening. But this evening we have with us attorney at law, Shalon Washington. Good evening to you, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Mark. How are you?
I am good, thank you. You're just on with us for about 10 minutes, and we appreciate that. And you came on just around the right time. Here is Frank Anthony, the Minister of Health, hugging this little girl, I assume, with a red t-shirt on, PPPC t-shirt, and the headline, some one of the goons placed there, is basically this. Do you guys remember Yulita Moore, who took the PPPC to court in 2020? Well, Miss Washington, this is not Yulita Moore. This is not Yulita Moore. You're not surprised, are you?
I am not at all. You know my position on this. The PPP has always been attempting to deceive the public. This is a deception. Lure people into believing that people are switching sides when in reality that's not really happening. It's just a few people who are switching because of opportunity. Those people are called opportunists. But otherwise, I don't think any of what they're claiming is happening. I don't think people are switching over to red as they're claiming. It's just a few opportunists running to them. Few.
A few of them indeed. A few, and I don't like to laugh at people. One lady said, "And the ranger." I don't know who's ranger. And the ranger, and then oh God, help me, please, forgive me. Now they're claiming this is Yulita Moore. That young lady there is not Yulita Moore. I know we all look alike, right? I know we all look alike, right, Miss Washington? You and I
Right.
look alike too. Look, let's get a
Yeah.
photo.
I know some people think, oh, black people look alike, but I mean, to
We
make
all
sense.
look alike, but Yulita Moore responded almost immediately. Can we go to Yulita Moore and her response, please, guys? Miss Yulita Moore actually respond, but we will get to that shortly. Before we get to that, though, uh, Air Finale was in Linden over the weekend. They took probably about 100 people into Linden with them, cars and buses. They paid people $5,000, boxes of food, all manner of things, because majority of the people in that crowd, or so-called crowd, were not from Linden. Your take about a regime and Air Finale, they're bribing people for votes and paying out of taxpayers' monies. Your thoughts on that, please.
The one thing I know about Linden is a strong, strong PNC stronghold. New PNC, and it doesn't matter what the PPP attempts to do. Even if there are a few people that will accept their the money, because the PPP has not been doing anything much for the people of Linden. That's an area they've neglected, and I've always said if somebody doesn't support the agenda of the PPP, they're not interested in taking care of the interests of those Guyanese people. We're not a one Guyana. We're a segregated, an apartheid country where the PPP is more vested in their own people who are supporting them, or people who are of the similar racial group as they are, and not Afro-Guyanese. And as you know, Linden is predominantly Afro-Guyanese. So even if the PPP attempts to enter Linden, whoever choose to wear that red t-shirt, it's their opportunists, and they're going to go there to get what they're going to get because they're struggling. The PPP is not doing anything for Linden, and behind closed doors, they're going to go put the vote for PNC because Linden has always been a PNC new stronghold. It's not going to change. It's been that way from the time my parents moved to Linden from the time I was born and grew up in Linden, and it still is, as far as I know, a PNC, APNU stronghold, and that is not going to change. No amount of props, no amount of photo op, no amount of giving red T-shirts for free, no amount of voters fraud is going to change that. If we see anything different in the elections, we know for sure that this is fraud. It's fraud, because it's just no way that the people of Linden are going to go vote red. All of a sudden, they're going to switch from being a PNC stronghold and go vote PPP. It wouldn't happen. If anything changes, that's more likely than not to be voters fraud.
Absolutely. And we are looking at voters' fraud almost immediately, because if they create this impression that they have a lot of people, it's just an impression, right? Because it's the same set of people they're busing into. Like, for example, on the Corriverton on the quarantine, they're now talking Jackdale has the nerve to go to Skeldon, Corriverton there, and to talk about development when they haven't done anything for the 23 years, plus the 3 years they've been in office. The people of Skeldon, Corriverton should have chased Jackdale, because I'm sure you recall, as well as our listeners, that Jackdale took taxpayers' monies. $200 million on a white elephant, Skeldon Sugar Factory. $200 million of taxpayers' monies. Shame on these guys. Now, this statement here, you go back to this this photograph here. They're claiming that this is Yulita Moore. That is how desperate they are. This is not Yulita Moore. This PPP paid person, assuming, is nothing close to what Yulita Moore. Yulita Moore, I don't know if you, I don't like to judge people by looks, but from a scale of 1 to 10, I give Yulita 7.5, and I give her, this young lady here, give her 2. Now let's go to Miss Yulita Moore. Yulita Moore issued a statement almost immediately after that propaganda, that wicked propaganda by the PPP regime. Let's go to it quickly, please.
Fellow Guyanese, good afternoon. My name is Yolita Moore. I am here to say that the publication by the Guyana Daily News is grossly inaccurate. The person that you see there with Frank Anthony, it is not me. I, Yolita Moore, have not joined the People's Progressive Party, Civic. I have no intentions of joining the People's Progressive Party, Civic. I am a member of the People's National Congress Reform, and I'm a staunch supporter of the APNU and will continue to do so. My lawyers are in the process of preparing a legal draft of which we will take the matter to the court. I thank you.
Story done right there. She's taking them to the court. You saw, and this is what we saw firsthand, the propaganda by the PPP. The propaganda, that's what they're about, propaganda. Your take on that, and right away, I spoke with Yolita Moore earlier while she was preparing for this statement. She was upset, and you can see it, visibly upset by that propaganda. Your take, Miss Washington.
The first thing is she has a defamation claim against PPP. PPP has literally defamed her by making a false claim in the public, and they have it in a printed form, so it's libel. Claiming that this woman, Yolita Moore, joined the PPP, that's defamation. They have no right, and they also cause somebody to falsely impersonate her. Somebody's claiming to be her. I don't know if that person's name is also Yolita Moore, or they're just intentionally using somebody who doesn't even share the same name as her and falsely claiming that that's the same person as her who switched over from PNC APNU into a PPP. That is wrong. So she needs to file a lawsuit. She's rightly getting her attorney, maybe to put an injunction, file an injunction, do whatever it takes to stop the nasty lies that the PPP is trying to spread about her. And it's defamation. It's slander. They're slandering her name, falsely claiming that she has left a party that she's been a staunch, you heard what she said. She's been a staunch supporter of APNU, PNC, and that's PNC reform. And that's where she'll remain. And the PPP has no right, none whatsoever, to make such false claim publicly regarding this woman. They're defaming her. It's defamation, and it's a false impersonation of her. The PPP needs to be held responsible, and she needs to get an injunction restraining them from taking any such further action or any such action in the future to falsely represent her, paint her in a false light to the public. It's defamation.
Yep, certainly defamation indeed, coming from a lawyer, not me. I'm not a lawyer, at least not yet. This is our lawyer for this evening. The desperation is there. Have you ever seen any sort of things in all your life? Gosh, in my years on this earth, I've never seen such wickedness, corruption, desperation on the part of any political party. Have you seen that?
I guess at this point it's just bare desperation on that part of the PPP. They're desperately trying to convince the public, desperately trying to get votes, legal votes, get the votes legally. And when that is failing, they're fraudulently trying to get it, because that's deception. That's also fraud. That's fraudulent conduct, to falsely try to or deceive the public into believing that something is what it's actually not. It is fraud. She could throw an entire book at the PPP for what they're doing here. Defamation, fraud. That's fraud. Fraudulent misrepresentation. Yes, they're misrepresenting facts to the public, and they need to be held accountable.
The oil get them Bazidi. And not only that, right away, I don't usually play garbage or entertain individuals who should probably, I don't disrespect, I guess some folks that I know work Sivan's garbage trucks and these are the things, and garbage, what do you call it again? Garbage guys. They make a lot of money. I remember the days nobody even want, no girl don't even want to go next to a garbage man. Now the garbage guy, them emptying the garbage, come around with the trucks, they're taking selfie, all kind of things now. Back in the days, they used to hide when they're doing the work, but not anymore. But let me show you the desperation of these PPP pacus. These some people call them Dunstug. Listen to this Dunstug.
Is the only multicultural, the only multiracial party in Guyana. You understand? It's the only party that has a mix. It's the only party that have all seven. I say all seven because y'all don't feel y'all gonna left me people out. You can't say seven. Yeah, 7 by them mixed people. Y'all can't left for them people. Y'all what Dario? You mean to say y'all ain't got no place for Dario? Dario is not an Amerindian. Dario is not, he's not an Indian. He's not Afro. Y'all not gonna give Dario McKemmon a space. Dario, you need to stand up for your rights. But the People Progressive Party have a place for every single body. You understand? So, when I saw the photograph of Yulita Moore today, I said to myself, Yulita, you've made the right choice. Because I know she suffered. She suffered a great lot. And they never turned back to that young woman after they would have used her.
The Dunstugs are out. That guy, nobody really knows him. But he claimed that his house got burned down during the coalition time. He claimed that, and people never questioned him because his story had so many question marks about it, whether the house burned down or it was self-inflicted wound or whatever it is, right? Because people are saying that he's actually the arsonist. Not me, but people are accusing him. And the very APNU people that he cussing now are the people who pull up the hard-earned money from over here. Old lady, old man, young, middle-aged like yourself, everybody pool. Sorry about that. But everybody pulled up money and sent for that vagabond. A day like today, he's saying about 7 and 8 races and all kind of thing. And did you hear? He said that Yulita Moore suffers so much, and he's glad that she's no longer with the coalition and she has joined the PPPC. That is what that Dunstock just said. But look, like these guys don't read and write. I don't know what nursery school he graduated from, because obviously he didn't go to really far. But he didn't listen to this here, Miss Washington, obviously. Obviously, he didn't.
Fellow Guyanese, good afternoon. My name is Yolita Moore. I am here to say that the publication by the Guyana Daily News is grossly inaccurate. The person that you see there with Frank Anthony, it is not me. I, Yolita Moore, have not joined the People's Progressive Party, Civic. I have no intentions of joining the People's Progressive Party, Civic. I am a member of the People's National Congress Reform, and I'm a staunch supporter of the APNU.
Story done. Story done. So we don't have to listen to Dunstocks. We don't have to listen to them. Now, I know I've invited you for 10 minutes. We've gone 13 minutes. Allow me another 5 minutes, please, Miss Washington. Let me have you listen to this tape, and those in our audience who haven't already. Listen to this, and then I'll allow you to say whatever else you have to say before you leave us this evening.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Miss Washington, you heard anti-data. You heard anti-data. I want to hear anti-data again.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Let me say this, there are many more anti-data around Guyana. Thousands more anti-data. Your take on what you just heard there, and does it surprise you at all?
Not at all. A lot of folks in Guyana are absolutely fed up. I think a lot of the PPP supporters in particular are fed up. Even the ones who would be afraid to come out and publicly say they're fed up, they know that the system is not geared to help them. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that we're seeing people making these foolish videos and giving a false impression because they might have been paid $10,000 or $20,000 to come out and make foolish videos claiming that they were hurt by APNU or PNC. It's false. It's a false narrative, and they're painting this false picture to the public. And if anyone falls for it, it's unfortunate, because you should not be swayed by the gimmicks that the PPP is playing. They're creating a false narrative and trying to sway the public's mind into believing something that is not, because it's not what it is appearing. It's a facade. And the people of Guyana need to wake up and recognize it's just a facade, and that the real issues, they're still going to face it. And you should not vote for PPP. Nothing is going to change. Even their own supporters are coming out and saying we're fed up because nothing is happening. The people in Guyana are still starving. There's oil money, but there's still not enough food. There's still not enough in the economy to take care of the people right there in Guyana. The people on the top are getting richer. The people in politics, the president is living a sumptuous life. His family is. He's taking care of his family. Barjaglio is taking care of the people that he's in connection with. But what happened to the ordinary people? What happened to the people who are, we call working class people here? What happened to those people in Ghana? No one is fighting for their interests. The only people you can guarantee will fight for your interests is the people who have been doing that for many, many years. From the foundation of Ghana, from the time we gained our independence, it has always been PNC. And now we have APNU and PNC. We have a coalition. So now I'm saying people should stay focused. Look at the real issue. PPP is not for the interests of all Guyanese. They're not for the interests of most Guyanese, as a matter of fact. So you need to not be swayed or be influenced by the false narrative that the PPP is creating on the internet or on television or in the news. They're going as far as to print slander, libel in the newspapers. This is very distraught. It's really distraught. It's disgusting what they're doing, and they should stop.
Desperate. They are desperate indeed. Attorney at law Shellon O. Washington is with us this evening, and she's really got to go. We begged her for just a couple of minutes of her time, and we want to respect her time as well. But if you have any legal matter, you want to get in touch with a competent lawyer, and that is Shellon Washington. Her law firm is located on Utica Avenue, 455 Utica Avenue, Suite 2R. That's in Brooklyn, New York. Contact number 718-877-3100. 718-877-3100. Get in touch with her law firm and she will defend you to the last. Miss Washington, $40,000 they're giving now, which is $200 for back to school. School is not yet over, but they started this back to school campaign to take the heat off of them for what they didn't do to prevent the 19 or 20 deaths of those students at the dorm in Madhya. You're taking all this bribery and $40,000 now for school children in your closing remarks.
Like I said before, the PPP is not for the interests of the Guyanese. They're not taking care of the interests of all Guyanese people. And $40,000 is not going to fix a broken system. We have a broken school system. The Minister of Education needs to check and see what the school system looks like, what it looks like to be in a school, an overcrowded environment in the interior, or where there's no proper bathroom or no proper shower or no proper safety measures in place at the schools in the interior, or even some of the schools in other regions, outside of Georgetown. She needs to really go or send people to look into those things. Giving the students $40,000 now, that money wouldn't last. I don't even believe $40,000 in Guyana could even buy proper school supplies with inflation. As far as I'm aware, prices for everything is very, very high, especially in the United States. And I'm guessing whatever is affecting the economy in the United States is also affecting the economy in Guyana. So $40,000, that's just a facade to deflect. It's to deflect from the real issue. The real issue is we need competent leaders. We need people who will actually take care of the interests of the students in the school system, actually take care of the interests of all Guyanese people and do what is best. $40,000 today, what happens tomorrow? What happened the month after that? What happened, as you get into the school year? What happens to those students? We need a system that will continuously take care of our children in Guyana, our most prized possession. We don't need another situation like the one that has just occurred, killing 20 students, 20 young lives gone. That's a big part of the future of Guyana. And we need competent people to protect our most valuable, our most prized assets, which are the future. The future is always important. Without the future, we cannot see anything. The human race cannot continue without our future generation. So those are the things that the PPP need to be more cautious and be more thoughtful of. $40,000 is, that's going to be over with. But what happens after that? What are they going to do to ensure that Guyana as a society continues to grow? We continue to flourish financially. What are they going to grow? What are they going to do about wealth distribution, about equality of wealth, to ensure that not just the people in leadership are provided with wealth, but that the ordinary people have a way of having that wealth trickle down to them.
All right, well said, Attorney Shellon Washington. Feel free to get in touch with her law office if you have any legal matter. Again, thank you so much as always for your time, Ms. Washington. Give my regards to your staff there, your competent staff at your law firm in Brooklyn. And hopefully you guys will see me soon for coffee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you to all your listeners again, and thank you to all the supporters, all you guys who have been, like always, always. I love and appreciate all of you who've been giving the referrals. I just want you guys to know that oftentimes people will call and they will give me a name of somebody who referred them, and I know a lot of you often tell your friends, okay, this is my friend's number. That's okay. I appreciate it, and I love all of you, even though some of you I don't really know, but I thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate all of the referrals. You're the best. Thank you again, Mark. Thanks for having me. Thanks to all you listeners. And you guys have a good night. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Washington. Appreciate your time. God bless. All right. So back to the bacchanal, right? We're not done. And I feel like I want to go until 11 or 12 o'clock this evening. I have nothing else to do. I just clocked out from my previous, my day job. You guys know what my day job is, right? And so here, Ms. Washington is correct. $40,000 one off, $40,000. What exactly? Any real government would not do that. And then again, this is another example to show that the PVPC, the installed PVP regime, is not really a real government. So you don't expect them to do anything better. So they feel that $40,000 is, look, they care. They're giving parents for their kids $40,000. It is not the way to run a country. And this is where we go now again to give kudos to the coalition. The coalition ensured that there was transportation. And mind you, speaking of transportation, all those kids who died at that dorm, 20 kids died at that dorm fire. They, under the coalition, used to go to school with bus, with transportation. But when the PPP got installed, they finished off with all of that. All the David G buses, done with. All the thousands of kids throughout the country who were given free transportation. You know how much money it saved their parents at the end of the year? Nothing close to 40. Please, I'm done playing that donkey, whatever his name is, alleged arsonist from Linden. Please, we have no space for him here. We have better things to deal with. If we want to hear a jackass bray, we have our own that we put him up there, and we should give him that award. But I'm not replaying that. You know what? You guys happy? He got his award. Story done. It's done with. He got his 15 minutes of fame. Nobody has time with goons. But look, let's get back to what Shellon Washington, the attorney, was saying. Under the coalition, they had buses, they had boats, they had bicycles, they had what ought to be breakfast and all these sort of things that saved one child, parent, hundreds of thousands of dollars at the end of the year. Not 40,000 you just give to them. And then that 40,000, the same mother, single mother with about 4 kids, maybe about 5 kids, who knows? Transportation, that's not enough for transportation. That is not even enough to buy a couple of school uniforms. It's done. But under the coalition, they had almost every single thing. Everything. And no one was discriminated. No community was ever discriminated. All throughout the quarantine, they were able to get free transportation, free breakfast in school, all manner of things. But that was a caring government, despite their faults, and they had faults. But the coalition was a caring government. After 23 years of misery under the PPP, when the country was virtually destroyed. There was basically nothing. There was no police force. There was no, in terms of morale, there was no Guyana Defense Force, nothing at all. People couldn't even walk the streets. Young men on Lang Avenue and All Boys Town, they couldn't even walk the streets. They were being assaulted. They were being tortured. Some of them were killed under the PPP regime. I know. I was there with them, whether it's All Boys Town, whether it's Lang Avenue, and I can say this without any apologies, that the PPPC doesn't care about those communities at all. If they could destroy it. Remember that little story I was telling you guys about what they did to Hamilton Green? And they put a Paku, a woman by the name of Soba. Night nurse. Sorry about that. I get carried away sometimes. I shouldn't be doing it, especially when I'm live on the air. Now back to Soba. Soba, she pulled away the mic and she wanted to bust Chase Green head and all manner of things. Like, these people forget. Chase Green and them forget that we stood up to make sure that we defended them against Soba, who wanted to bust she head when she was a deputy mayor, and all manner of things, and how they had a death squad guy by the name of Sean Hines walking around City Hall with a red shoes, pretending as though he's the bodyguard and all manner. Like, y'all forget, Chase Green and all these people forget how they treated her, how they treated the people of Georgetown. I haven't forgotten, and I know most or all of you in Georgetown haven't forgotten. You know how many young men were slaughtered on Lang Avenue under the PPPC? You know how many young men from Lang Avenue, from All Boys Town, from Sophia and other places in Georgetown were slaughtered under the PPPC regime, under Jack Day's regime? Do you know that? Do you know how many young men and women were deprived house lots under the PPP regime, even while Irfan Ali was Minister of Housing? Suddenly they're coming to you as though they care. And when Priya Manichan was Minister of Social Services, do you know how many young women, single parents, single mothers were deprived of so many things? Suddenly they're telling you that they care about you. And some of you are falling for that swar. Do not fall for that swar. Now, the coalition had its problems, yeah, but they were 100 times better than the corrupt, racist PPP regime. And now let me show you how the coalition operated. Not because they prevented me from becoming the mayor of Georgetown. I would have been a heck of a good mayor of Georgetown. Hey, who else to be their own trumpet, right? A heck of a good mayor for Georgetown. But the coalition, they fought against me. It's politics, all right? I take my licks and I still stand up, and I'm still here enough to still be on this side and support them. I'm still supporting them, right? But when the coalition, when they were in office, look at what the coalition did for the people of Rose Hall. The PPP controlled the municipality in Rose Hall, right? The coalition government never said that, look, they're going to hold back subvention for Rose Hall, or when they, or Corriverton, that was under the control, municipality under the control of the PPP. The coalition never spiked them in Corriverton. The coalition gave them whatever they wanted. But this corrupt PPP regime spiked the people of Linden, of Bartica, of Madja, of Georgetown, of New Amsterdam. They spiked them all because the PPP is a spiteful party. Spiteful party. And every time I see one of those young men or young women jumping up, pretending that the PPP cares about them, I feel a way, because the PPP doesn't care. Hundreds of black men, mainly black men, were slaughtered, murdered under Jack Day's presidency. And suddenly you think he cares about you? He's hugging some of you. You think he cares about you? It is about politics, and it's about him getting more power so that he could mash you guys. Because look at how they went into the homes as soon as the PPP got into office. Look how they got into the homes. Look how they got in to the homes, right? Look how they got in to that house out there in Essequibo. I believe it's Dartmouth or in Boston, and slaughtered him in the presence of his wife, killed him, murdered him. The PPP has a lot of blood on their hands, you know. Lots and lots of blood on their hands. Look how they killed Quindon Bacchus and scores of other people. You think suddenly the PPP gonna like the people in Albistown or the people in Laying Avenue? No, 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 no. Do not be fooled. And that is why I want to go back to Auntie. Look at Auntie. There is Auntie there. That's Ganesh with the glasses, and that's Auntie, right? And that's Auntie hugging. You know, who is that Auntie's hugging there? Auntie is hugging. And Auntie means business. And let me say this to you guys. They got lots more people like Auntie in Essequibo, in Bartica, in where else? Georgetown, in Port Morant, all over. They get enough more like Auntie. And that is why the PPP is afraid. They are afraid of people like Auntie. And because they're afraid of people like Auntie, they go now and taking picture with Moko Moko. Auntie Moko Moko. Well, it making no sense. Auntie Moko Moko, who is out for a hustle, whether chicken, whatever, there's Auntie Moko Moko. But when this lady speaks, you could honestly, you know that she's sincere, you know that she is serious about what she's about, and that she's fed up. She's fed up since 1965. Watch and see, they're going to go and look for Auntie. And they're going to try to bribe Auntie. But Auntie look as though she is not like that Moko Moko one from New Amsterdam or like chicken. We'll get chicken mouth. No, you know, I feel so nice, man. I want to go back. We are not about propaganda, you know. We are not about propaganda here at all. Unlike some of them pacus, those dunstogs. We're clicking on their social media and say about the talking and this. They are a bunch of scampish, flatfoot hustlers. That's who they are. So we're not bothered by those PPP thugs. Now let's go back to Auntie now. Yeah, that's Roysdale Fort she's hugging up there. Now let's go back to Auntie. Auntie makes me feel good. And if I could see Auntie right now, I ain't lying. If I could see Auntie right now, I would give Auntie a hug. Auntie, if you're watching right now, just come on, give me a hug. We love you and we appreciate your bravery. We need more of Auntie and we need Uncle too. So one Auntie is worth 100 of them soup drinkers in the red t-shirt. One thing Auntie say alone, and watch the PPP tremble. Auntie, let me hear from you again.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
It's very simple. Very, very simple. You guys heard it, right? Very simple, my friends. Very, very simple. Simple and straight to the point. Simple and straight to the point. I want to bring up something else to you guys, right? Simple and straight to the point. Gosh. Again, simple and straight to the point. Simple and straight to the point. I'm trying to bring up something else for you guys. Simple and straight to the point. Simple and straight to the point. Now, I couldn't get that video with, I believe somebody saying something about Laying Avenue. And the young girl saying, oh, roads, and you didn't understand one thing. Makes no sense. Look how simple. Seriously, look how simple Auntie. I can just play some nice instrumental over Auntie's voice and her message, which is sincere. You could tell it's from the heart. And you could tell that obviously she means it. Her message should be on all of your Facebook page. And if those of you who haven't shared Auntie's video, share it. It makes sense. 100 times better than what we're hearing. Yeah, man. Yeah, we can road, we can eat, we can this, and rage. Yeah. There's a skit. It's like comedy show. Them ain't making no sense. They can't win hearts. They can't bring votes. Some of them don't even have ID card. And I would feel a way if I make a video on me bed, which I wouldn't, mind you, right? Especially even if I'm to make a video on my bed. Just imagine I get my video here and I'm making it on my bed and my pillow here and I get no school on my pillow. I get dribble on my pillow, my sheet, get all sorts of stains on it, my walls. I wouldn't make such a video and boast and brag about 40,000. Yeah. $40,000. I sometimes don't even want to come on the program with a tight twist up, much less a bed sheet dingy, posy at the bottom of the bed. You could smell it on the video. Nose cold. And you look, man, look. I don't like to laugh at people. You guys know that. I don't do that. People laugh at me. I don't mind. But I don't like to laugh at people. I don't. And you guys know that. But when these PPP, Jack Deere and them, catching these people, catching them to come and do what? Catching these people to come and talk. You know what, Jack Deere, they're doing? They're making a mockery of persons of African descent. No person who could speak properly. I mean, you don't have to go to a Queen's school or a language or swallow a dictionary to speak properly. I'm sure Auntie didn't, I don't know Auntie, but listen to Auntie. Listen to the difference. You guys get the message, right? You guys understand. We don't allow, yeah, we gotta eat now. We gotta eat. Let's go back to Auntie, please. You guys forgive me. I want to hear Auntie again.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
I gotta hear her. You guys can get a little upset. I gotta hear her again because this message goes straight to the heart. Thousands of PPP supporters feel the same way.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
one vote, sometimes that one vote makes a difference. And Auntie Data knows exactly what she's talking about when she mentioned that one vote. One vote. She knows what she's on to. And we've got to salute and we've got to respect. Respect what she just said there. I hope you guys share her video all across your page. It makes a lot of difference. Lots of difference. It shows quality, and of course, it shows sincerity on her part. Unlike the part where you find some of these individuals are like, but we gotta eat, money gotta make. The PPP is insulting persons of African descent. They're insulting persons of African descent by paying these individuals to go on social media thinking that is doing us anything. We're all laughing. I heard some voice notes and things, people saying, when last you watch the sheet, watch this, they're going, I mean, come on, man. If you're making a video, make a proper video, no, man. All over the place, people laughing, the PPP. Laughing, even the dogs and all, ain't get no respect for them. I said it, yeah. Even the dogs don't have no respect for Jack Dale, Irfan Ali, and the PPP. Them nothing. The dogs and all disrespecting them. Check them dogs. Sorry about that. This is a serious show indeed. Again, even the dogs. You guys think I'm kidding? This is no propaganda. It's no propaganda. Irfan and them, they're speaking about local government elections. The dogs know that they're lying. The dogs basically call up each other. You know, they call up each other and say, hey, Jaggy, come. The dogs call each other and look how they're mocking the PPP. Hi guys, welcome back to local government elections around the corner. The joint services voted, and I'm told that some of them were basically, given a raw deal. And I hope many soldiers and the policemen, hardworking policemen and women, and prison officers and so forth know that we appreciate and respect their votes. And let us hope this time around the PPP is not going to steal their votes. The PPP is not going to steal their votes. Let us hope that that's not the case at all. All right, what else it is that we can... Hey, before I go, hear this. Now, this woman here is a police woman. I repeat, that woman there is a police woman. You got me, right? This is no propaganda. That's a police woman supposed to be probably working, but instead collect the people's money and gone out there holding up a PPP's flag, thinking it looks good, just because maybe she's fighting for her promotion or fighting for God in heaven knows what. But she's holding up that PPP flag that somebody probably gave her to hold up for a box of chicken or whatever else. Now, she's a sergeant of police. Sergeant of police stationed in E&F headquarters. E&F headquarters. Sergeant Benjamin, we see you. Sergeant Benjamin, we see you. We know what you're about. We see you, Sergeant Benjamin, attached to E&F headquarters. We see you. We see you. We know what you're about. All right, let me check some of your comments before I prepare, because I want to get out of here very soon. I don't want to leave you guys just like that. Maybe I'll do something with you in the morning, huh? Maybe. What do you say? But before I go, don't get lost as yet. Don't go anywhere as yet. Look at this here. This indigenous brother, I'm told, was given couple $6,000 to put on a PPP shirt. Give the man about $3,000 or $4,000 to wear a PPP shirt, t-shirt, and they think that this guy is a done stug. But as soon as the guy collected the money, he put half in his pocket and went over and paid the shop man the other half. So he get a good deal. And when he's done now, he suck his teeth and he raised this APNU AFC flag and he wave it in the air. Wave it like he just don't care. That is what a lot of these people are doing. They're taking the PPP taxpayers' money that the PPP is bribing them, and they're walking away laughing at the PPP, laughing at Jack Deere, laughing at Irfan, laughing at all of them. And this man was brave enough to do that. Can I get a yeah? Because you know, back in the days in Linden, people would say, you see somebody in Linden, you say, hey, we're going on, yeah, right? Can I get a yeah? Look at this indigenous brother. And then did you guys hear the guy from Linden now? A Paku from Linden by the name of some Blair, some Paku, gave an elderly man a t-shirt. And the man said, well, I can take this t-shirt and wipe me with it. Look, my friends, calm down. Calm down. Do not be fooled by Jack Deere and Irfan Ali and those PPP Pakus. They can't win New Amsterdam. They can't win Georgetown. They can't win Linden. They can't win Bartica. They can't win Madja. And they're in trouble in Rose Hall. They're in trouble in Corriverton. You know why they're in trouble? This is why. And they know it too. This is why.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
One video by anti-data. One video, one. Compared to the little one where they get and they put it up. Yeah. We get road, Lane Avenue. I said, what we get? I said, what we get in? I said, what? I said us. I'm sorry, I don't curse, right? But some of you out there, let me see some of you, man. You know what I want to say, right? Yeah. We look, what we get is what we get. 10 of those sort of tapes compared to one of anti-data. One. Those people for the PPP are like, yeah, look what we get. All they're talking is a bunch of... Feel free to finish off what I really want to say. All we're saying is a bunch of... Oh, gosh, I swear. My grandmother might be watching. Ruth and her good friend, a bunch of Sam Guram Guru Suru, right? What else we can do before we go, guys? What else? 7 days to go. Well, almost 6 days to go. Call up your friends in New Amsterdam. Call them up. Call up your folks them in Georgetown. Call up your folks in Linden, in Bartica, in Madja. Call them up. The PPP is a bunch of vagabonds and swines. Who will, look, seriously, who can these people convince to sorry about that. Who can these people to
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team.
Strong
The
team.
number one. PPP team.
Yeah.
You understand? PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
Son.
We are
in the
here.
night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely alleyway. Yeah, we definitely strong ship.
Moments later, not even 2 seconds after they finished speaking, look what happened. They gamble the business. Hey guys, ignore Jack Day and them. They can't beat the PNC in Georgetown. They can't beat the PNC in Linden. They can't beat the PNC in New Amsterdam, in Bartica, and in Magia. Y'all go out and vote, whether it's rain, sun, and you know it started snowing in Guyana since we started getting oil, right? Because I see some banners walking on Regent Street with big winter jacket, snow boots. Y'all, those of y'all who sending things home, some of y'all, I got to talk about some of y'all sometimes, all kind of thing y'all sending home, snow boots, gloves. Y'all wicked. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. I'll have as my guest candidate for the 41st district there in Brooklyn, council seat. She's running, Isis McIntosh Green. She'll be my guest tomorrow to talk to you guys, and we'll hear some of her plans for that district. And those of you who reside in that district, we'll let you know what to go out and do. We want to hear from her, and we will be hearing from Isis McIntosh Green tomorrow. All right, but for now, before I go, you guys know what I want to do before I go again, right? Let's get back to Auntie Data.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
That simple video from Auntie Data is worth 100 times, 1 million times more than what you say we get? What you say we get? What you say we this? Sorry, the more if I behave like that, I'll song like that, Bonobo run out of Borby psychiatric ward. But we're nice people here, right? We're decent people. We don't believe in propaganda, these sort of things. I'll be back tomorrow. We haven't forgotten about the permanent secretary there at the Ministry of Home Affairs, May. We haven't forgotten about you. We haven't forgotten about you. No, we haven't. We'll revisit those matters more. But for now, God bless you all. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back hopefully in the morning, but definitely tomorrow evening. And my guess, at least one of them, will be a candidate for a council seat in Brooklyn, District 41. Isis McIntosh Green will be with us. But for now, have a good night. God bless you. And local government elections, we got you. We got you.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Wakenham, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, then losing it by data. I have none.